Hi, I'm Dr. Jason J. Campbell, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. This video, I'm continuing my analysis into Nietzsche's Will to Power series. Of course, as you guys know, the text that I'm using is Friedrich Nietzsche's Will to Power, edited by Walter Kaufmann. This section is going to be section 10.5 of the analysis. My notes, as always, will be available in the description box. Click the link, it'll take you to the PDF. Make sure you have the most up-to-date version of the PDF and use that to guide your research. In this section, to continue from the last section, 10.4, we're going to see more of the discourse and the implications of the discourse on egoism. For me, this is a seminal point we've finally reached a point there's many points, there are infinitely, that's why I love the text so much, that's why I do this, is because there's so many parts in the text that just totally fascinate me. And, you know, the more I revisit Nietzsche, this will be the last revisit, but the more I revisit Nietzsche, this particular text, is the more I recognize why this really has been probably the most impactful philosophical text of my life. Pedagogy of the Oppressed is my favorite, but this is so deep. I return to this text over and over and over and over again, and every time I return to this text, I find something deeper. I don't think I'll be able to find anything after this because I'm exhausting as much as my conceptual analysis as possible in coming to understand this text. But what's really interesting about what's going to happen in this section, just to give you a prelude of what's to come, is we're going to see now, in a little bit, how the discourse that I had in the last hour in section 10.4 on the ego and the egoistic relationship between moral agents translates into the social. How it becomes social, right? How the social absorbs that egoistic disposition, that egoistic moral disposition, and how the social then conforms to that sort of inherent egoism for better and best of all scenarios, which is what Nietzsche wants, but unfortunately for worse. And how he finds this depravity in society as a consequence of moral agents' inability to recognize their inherent egoism. It is the failure to recognize our inherent egoism which translates into a social decadence par excellence. Right? You know, social decadence at its most visceral, sappy, sort of disgusting level. And this is what Nietzsche's raging against. Right? And me being a contemporary scholar, with my particular training, what I want to do is I want to take it further. Right? I want to be more of a Nietzschean than Nietzsche was himself. I want to say that the social decadence and the egoistic mentality that has been infused within society isn't just a consequence of sort of Christian morality, which Nietzsche lays the heft of the blame on. I want to say that it's a consequence of both Christian morality and a deliberate self-denial. Right? If I were to coin a phrase, it would be self-denialism, right? We live in an era of the denial of self, right? Our denial of self is so profound in American, and now I'm a little off topic, but just to let you know how serious for me these last two sections are. We live in an era of such profound self-denialism in the 21st century, United States of America primarily, that, you know, our kids go to school. My son yesterday came into the office, and I asked my wife, I was like, where did you get that shirt from? You got the shirt for Christmas? It's a great shirt. It's got a huge skull on the front of the shirt. Right? And I'm like, it just caught my attention. I don't care that he's wearing a skull shirt. You know, I'm all about that. I'm all about that. But I recognize, right? I make cognitive recognition of that. It doesn't slip nothing slips my interest. Nothing slips my notice. But we are so steeped in self-denial that we have contemporarily embodied the self-destruction, the symbol of death, the skull, as the means with which we symbolically interact with other person. Hi, I am more of a denialist than you are. Right? I can more represent death and destruction of self than you can. Here's a huge skull on my shirt. Rock the skull shirts, dog. I'm all about that. You know me. I'm dark side till I die. I'm all about that. Right? But you got to recognize the system that you're in. Right? The self-denial isn't, in a contemporary sense, just a consequence of the theological imposition on socio-political, socio-cultural aspects of our lives, right? It is commercialized, right? Nietzsche would want a discourse in sort of a combination with like a Walt Whitman Song of Myself and an Ayn Rand sort of, what about the ego, right? What about the ego? What about the counter-narrative? Where are the shirts in opposition to the skull shirts? Where's the shirt with me on the front? You know, shout out to people like Weezy, shout out to people like Nas, and they'll have the shirts, I am hip hop. You know what I mean? Where are the shirts that says, I'm the best? Shout out to Khaled. Shout out, we the best. I'm the best to ever do it. You're going to have to kill yourself to work harder than me because I'm manic. So you can't be a rational person and beat me in this game. Right? Because this game isn't for rational people. Right? I'm about self-exaltation. I'm about the ego. I'm about I. I'm about me. You should be about I. You should be about me. About your respective I, your respective me, not I, me. Right? Where's the counter-narrative in our contemporary socio-political, cultural facets of life? All the many facets. There really isn't. It's all about denialism. Right? It's all about the death of the ego. Right? And in Nietzsche's time, this manifested within the theological discourse. But as Nietzsche knew, rightfully so, I don't think he realized just how powerful an institution theology and self-destruction and self-denial through piety and reverence and subjugation really informs the social. So much so that the social now is all denial. There is no ego. There is no I. There's no super personality. Right? Our superheroes are even denialist. Right? This is precisely why I do rant. Right? I got a comment from somebody the other day like, I can't believe a black dude's doing racist rant. Oh, she was racist? I didn't read that in her objectivist epistemology. I didn't see that in objectivist epistemology. Right? All I saw I just saw the code to the universe in that text. I didn't know that was reserved for non-blacks because I got access to it on tap. I get it 100%, right? I get it to the point where it's like, no, I get it. I get it. I'm not asking if I get it. I know I get it. And I don't care if I offend people with my arrogance and my brash cockiness, right? Like Khaled says, we the best ever, period. No apologies. This isn't checkers, this is chess, you know? Where's that narrative? Where's that unabashed cockiness? Where is it at? Pac died. Biggie died. R.I.P., man. R.I.P. Right? It's about denialism. It's about destruction of self. The counter-narrative needs to be ego. Ego. Trumpets blowing. A procession of the nobles. Google it. It's a great classical piece. It's my favorite classical piece of all time, right? The procession of the nobles. I want an army of people trumpeting horns about themselves. I'm the best in music. I'm the best in art. I'm the best in literature. I'm the best YouTuber. I know I'm not. I'm not even close to being the best YouTuber. I'm the best, but you know, shout out to people who are the best YouTubers. I'm the best dancer. I'm the best, you know, graffiti artist. I'm the best chain smoker. I'm the best, you know, alcoholic. Whatever, you know, if you're gonna drink, go out like, you know, leaving Las Vegas, right? You know, take it to the extreme. Take it to the point.